Yesterday I was watching, and Chris Demm caught this too. We were watching the same local news program, and one of the lead anchors, a lot of times they'll say something, and when the question comes back to them, they can't then go to the next level. For instance, he said they were talking about Christmas songs you're tired of.
Yeah, I think some new survey found that the Mariah Carey song is, in addition to being the most popular, the most annoying.
Which you'd expect. Yeah. I don't agree with that, though. I think the Mariah Carey Christmas song, I don't find it annoying. I never get tired of that. You know, every time I hear it, I love it. Mm-hmm. But it's the most annoying and so forth. And one of the guys on the local news said, you know what song I love? They used to play it on the radio all the time. It's called The 12 Pains of Christmas, which we are going to play at the end of this segment.
I guess his coworkers
They didn't know it. No. And they said, oh, really? What's it about? And he goes, I don't know.
And they said, well, sing a little bit. I can't.
I can't.
He's really selling it.
You know the 12
He said,
Pains.
just go to YouTube. But
yeah, he goes, why don't you go to YouTube? And they were like, well, can you sing a little? And he goes, no.
I'd rather not.
Yeah, it's difficult, you know. It's like same channel many years ago. It was National Donut Day, so they had a dozen in there to start, and one said to the other, it's National Donut Day. Which donut do you like the best? And the woman said, I don't eat donuts. Bam. Great. Torpedo. Yeah. Absolute torpedo.
I mean, some things you'd think would come up in the meeting.
Right. Oh, yeah. You'd think you'd do that.
Now, some of their conversations are unscripted.
That's right. Great lead in to this story. Now, this was in Calgary. On a Canadian news channel. There is a woman named Dallas Flexhog. And that's right. Dallas Flexhog is her name. And her colleague, Linda Horton, was out on the streets. And so Linda wasn't familiar with what was being discussed back in the studio. She's ready to do her on-the-spot report. So back in the studio, they are coming up with your elf name. For instance, you know how you can do like your pet plus your road you lived on is supposed to be what, your porn name or something like. So they were doing, I don't even know how you do this, but on their Morning of Giving segment, they were having some fun saying, well, what's your elf name? And you can look it up online, you know, to try to come up with your elf name. So they're kicking it out to Linda, and she doesn't know what they're talking about.
And you can take part in our Morning of Giving today. Our Leslie we got Leslie's name too, did we not?
Peach's Cookie Fingers.
Peach's Cookie Finger, down in the parking lot.
That's your elf.
Okay, what?
Yeah,
is that my stripper name?
It's elf. Christmas elf. Christmas elf name.
We don't talk about strippers here.
No.
This is local news.
Peach's Sticky Fingers?
Cookie Fingers.
Cookie Fingers. Jesus. Not Sticky Fingers.
Damn.
That is a stripper name.
That is.
Because Peach's Sticky Fingers is a better stripper name than elf name. Is what I'm thinking. Everything is fine.
Cut.
Please stop saying sticky fingers.
Peach's Sticky Fingers. Yeah. That is a good stripper name.
Yeah.
She went with it. She's still on. They've left her on the air. Okay. Television related. A little update now on TJ Holmes and Amy Robach.
The affair heard around the world.
I'm the only one covering this story. I feel like I'm the only one. It's petered out.
Yeah.
Don't you think? It's fizzled.
It was salacious, and now it's just not.
Well, Robach herself said, quote, it's over.
Oh, she did.
And maybe she was right.
She said the story's over.
To paparazzi.
Yeah, but every day I look and see, I'm very into it. Yesterday we had Gayle King's commentary on it from the CBS morning show. These two are from GMA. I think the reason it doesn't sustain is because they're not very well known. You know, they do GMA3, they contribute to Good Morning America. But now what they've said is insiders at ABC say Amy and TJ will be reviewed during the first of the year. And ABC News President Kim Godwin sent an email saying, quote, this chaos has been distracting all of us from the incredibly important work our team does here at ABC News. That's what I thought.
It's brought people to ABC News. I got news for you.
I agree.
There's your news.
And they have said you are off the air until further notice, and we'll be doing an internal review of how you handled this situation first of the year, and at that point we'll let you know your status. So
They've handled it. How have they handled it? It's the news organization that has to handle it. They're just living their lives.
Well, they had to handle the situation to start with of how they have handled it so far, I guess, on and off the air. They went to ABC bosses and said, we're having a relationship.
Yeah.
I think they've done okay. If they're going to have a relationship, they put it out to their bosses 8 months ago, right? Or a while ago. They said,
I mean, perhaps in management's, in management's view, things will cool down, and that's all that people maybe are tuning in for. I don't know. Or that's all that people want to talk about with them. Or maybe they're getting bombarded with tweets and social media messages. I don't know.
I just don't think it's that big of a distraction. I think they could go on and not mention it, and nobody'd even. I mean, eventually. It would,
well, maybe they're concerned. I mean, maybe the network is concerned about an HR violation of some sort, since they are
working. Together.
It's a sexual relationship in a workplace.
It is, and they are absolute co-hosts on that GMA3. They're not just they are peers. They're peers, and they work together. But I mean, they're consenting adults, so they really. I mean, they've each perhaps cheated on their husband/wife. I don't even know if they did.
We've seen corporations, though. They clam up at the slightest hint of scandal.
And they don't want to lose money.
I just would say the only issue so far has been that ABC first said, "Go ahead, we're fine with this," and then a day later said, "Oh, wait a minute, you're off the air." They changed course on it. For whatever
because
reason.
Other networks started reporting on it.
I don't even think that happened. I haven't seen anybody report on it except Inside Edition.
Well, those places,
those kinds of things, So that's maybe that's why. Maybe that's why they.
I can't imagine any. Well, maybe I can't imagine any advertisers would say anything, but maybe they do. Maybe they say, "Hey, look, as long as those two are on, we're going to pull our ivory soap abs."
Perhaps I don't know. Biggie, you have a.
I'd like to flash back one story to the elf names for a moment.
Oh.
I have looked up
you figured it out. Okay.
For Chris Demm and for Dave Aiken.
Okay.
And Dave is Scrappy Holly Dust, which is now how he'll be in my phone for the season.
And what is
Chris Demm's maybe my favorite, Dumpling Crafty Pants.
And the woman on the news, if you missed.
And you can take part in our morning of giving today. Our Leslie we got Leslie's name too, did we not?
Peach's Cookie Fingers.
Peach's Cookie Finger, down in the parking lot.
What?
That's your elf.
Okay, what?
Yeah,
is that my stripper name?
It's elf. Christmas elf.
Oh!
Christmas elf name.
Peach's Sticky Fingers?
No.
Cookie Finger.
Cookie Fingers. ABC says she's off the air. They'll do an internal review.
It'll be no fun.
They'll do an internal review.
It winds up she's been seeing Dumpling Crafty Pants.
They took her away. That's it. More on this is on TV as well. ABC's Martha Raddatz was working with a House of Representatives member, Adam Kinzinger. She was interviewing him recently. He was outside during a heavy thunderstorm.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you see?
Yeah, it was Sunday morning.
Yeah.
He was under an umbrella.
Yeah.
Probably for no reason.
Yeah.
I mean, you can put cameras anywhere.
Yeah, he didn't. He could have been inside if he'd wanted to be. And she told him, "You need to get inside."
Democracies can have bad days, but how we come back from those bad days is how we'll be defined. And let's define ourselves very well here.
Got that thunder going behind you. Thanks very much for joining us this morning. Please go inside. Thanks again.
Okay. Like he's being, you need to get inside.
I don't.
He really needed to there. He stood there for quite some time, which he could have just done it from his office, I suppose.
Everybody's got a camera on their computer.
It didn't seem like he needed to be out there. Nonetheless, she sent him in. Here's the story this is about weather. In Michigan, anyway, they have decided to, instead of using salt for their icy roads this winter, they are using beet juice.
Beetlejuice?
Not Beetlejuice. You say Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
No.
Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice.
No. Beet juice.
Beet
is what they're using for the first time, and they say it really, really works well. We have a clip from State Senator Roger Victory from Michigan, who says this is the only way to go, and he thinks other states should do it as well.
In Michigan, we're one of the top states that produces sugar beets. It actually has higher temperature tolerance than what salt will have. Salt is very corrosive to steel. A lot of our concrete roads have the steel meshing systems in place.
So as the snow and ice comes for the first time, and they're getting huge snowstorms now across that area, they are using beet juice. And one of the public works directors right outside Detroit says, working like a charm.
In the long run, cost savings is probably the bottom line. The biggest benefit for us is a reduction in salt costs and efficiencies for our operators. So we see about a 35% savings in salt alone. And then the liquids also do make the operation more efficient, which cuts down on labor as well.
The thing they're actually putting on there is sugar beet molasses, which is a waste product and costs a lot less than salt. And they're able to just waste.
But he said that Michigan produces sugar beets.
They do.
So they have them.
They have
Not
them.
every state has
That's
them.
the thing. Can we get them? Is there enough of them for us to use them, everywhere else?
And this is going to sound like a dumb question. What does it do to your car?
It's good. I think it's a good question. Less than salt,
I mean, when I think of beets, I think of pickled beets first.
Well, it's not
like I turn them red.
Delicious treat.
Wow.
Biggie likes a red beet.
Pickled eggs, pickled beets, love them.
Pickled beets. He likes. What do you call them? Red beet eggs.
Red beet eggs. That's what we called them.
You put eggs.
Is that your elf name?
Pickle beet eggs.
That'd be awesome. I'd accept that name with
Pickle
honor.
beet. Pickle beet. Pickle beet.
You pickle the eggs in red beet juice.
Yeah, you gotta. It's red beets. And you can find pickled red beets. Put a jar of those in. Put in some hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah.
Then you add a lot more vinegar to it.
Yeah.
Then you let them sit for about 24 hours
on the front porch.
It's a delicacy.
Your new lady friend doesn't know about this, does she?
Not yet.
She does, and she thinks they're absolutely
Does she
horrifying.
really?
Oh, yeah.
She
But
doesn't
she
like
saw.
them.
I had some in the fridge, and she's like,
Really?
"What's that?" I was like, "It's pickled eggs." Man.
I feel like gas would be an issue for me. The smell of the gas would be an issue for me after the fact. Eggs tend to make my flatulence bad. And don't can you speak to this?
I don't find it any worse than anything else.
Really? Okay. All right. In that case, I'm in.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm with you on
I'm
that.
telling you, that's a real treat.
Yeah, who started bad in the first place? You got nowhere to go but up.
I'm okay with it.
Well, when I was a kid, I didn't eat the beets. I just wanted the egg part.
Right. Yeah.
And now I love the beets
Eat the beets
just as much.
too,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The guy there, the state senator, says it will not, salt is corrosive to your car and beets aren't. So they may turn it red.
That's correct.
Yeah, but it
What's
won't.
make it smell like? What is it? What does beet juice smell like? It's got to smell like something.
Biggie? Is it vinegary?
Yeah, vinegar for sure. I mean, well, the
But
beet
beets
juice
aren't-
The beet themselves,
doesn't
But they're
have much
not
of a
pickled.
smell.
You have to pickle the beets.
Yeah, they're not pickled yet. I wonder if
now
that's
you
a
can get
smell.
just regular beets in like a can. I prefer the ones that are already somewhat pickled. I just like to add more
vinegar.
Vinegar.
But I wonder. I don't think beets. Do they have much of a smell? A beet?
I mean, it's just a root
juice?
vegetable, right?
Yeah.
I don't eat them. I mean, I've had people sneak them in salads before, and I've eaten them, and
Yeah.
I don't like the texture.
I've never liked them. I don't like them either. But
So I wouldn't even think about a juice.
so I don't know. Wonder if that could we produce more beets and would it help?
There's only certain places in the country you can probably grow them.
Grow
Yeah.
beets, yeah. Cut the cost of salt.
And this is going to sound, y'all are country. I'm city. Is sugar beet the same thing? Is all beets sugar beets, or are there 1,000 varieties of beets?
I bet there are more varieties.
Maybe.
My guess. I never was a beet person.
All I know is purple.
Yeah, my parents put them on my plate once, and I thought they were awful.
My parents ate them all the time.
Mine too.
Occasionally, like sometimes people go into restaurants, fancier, that have like golden beets.
Yes.
And they're delicious.
Seen that. Seen them. My problem is the first time my parents gave me beets, they were probably from a can, and I didn't like them.
I'm sure they were from a
This
can.
good old pickled beets.
Exactly. Now I won't try a beet because
What a treat. You're missing out.
A treat. It's a beet treat.
You put it with a hard-boiled egg. You let it sit overnight.
You're big on the eggs, Big.
That's got to be part of it.
I think you like the egg more than you do the beet.
Oh, yeah, but I mean now, it's the combo of the two.
I love it.
The marriage of the
Love
two.
it.